Hey guys, welcome back again to my second video here. I made a video earlier, part one. I'll put it down below and link you guys up to it, where I essentially talk about why I opened this YouTube channel. And see, I don't even know how to hold this fucking mic. So the reason I created this YouTube channel is because years ago I discovered videos on YouTube about the law of assumption, the law of attraction, doing robotic affirmations. I read tons of text on Neville, Wayne Dyer, Joseph Murphy, tons of people in the manifesting community. I've seen things happen ever since I started doing robotic affirmations myself. However, I don't just want to talk about this shit like most of the people do here to tell you to do X, Y, Z. I actually want to do it with you guys. 10 to 15 minutes. In my first video, I mentioned to you guys that this is a journey. I'm going to document my journey doing robotic affirmations for the next. I want to aim for 90 days. I initially started with 30 days just to see how the reality starts to bend, how our thoughts start to shift the reality around us. And remember, when we're doing this, when we're practicing robotic affirmations, because that's what I'm going to do, because I want to be able to be proof that either A, this works significantly quick, or B, this doesn't, right? Obviously I do have some testimonies, but I don't want to share those with you guys because I have no proof. It can usually just be that I was focused on doing this shit, and I want to be able to do this live for you guys and affirm and do the robotic affirmations. I did pick one, and I decided to go with money because it's one of the ones that everybody wants to be a part of, right? Money is it shifts the universe, right? So the robotic affirmation that I talked about in my first video when I started talking about nonsense and introducing my YouTube channel, and obviously this is not scripted. I'm going to the top of my head. And so the robotic affirmation, it's I get paid to exist and I always receive large amounts of money out of thin air. I did add a little bit more to it. I am a money magnet. I am a millionaire, right? What I want to do with this, you guys can totally do it with me. I encourage you guys to do this shit with me as you guys are just watching these videos. So you guys are actually, doing this shit. Close your eyes, put on some headphones, try to visualize yourself with the money that you guys already have, right? Because remember, when we're doing this, we have to remember that it's the I am, right? We already have this stuff. We're only repeating in the assumption, or we are sort of bending the assumption into, or not bending, but entering the assumption that we already have this money, that we already have the things that we desire. And it doesn't have to always be money. I'm just going to test it with money, and I'm going to essentially turn this into a diary where I tell you guys, hey guys, so 2 days ago money came from this place, or money came from that place, or I got X amount of money through a friend or a relative, or I played a fucking scratcher, or whatever it may be, right? I'm just doing this to test the law, right? The assumption that money is always coming to me out of thin air. So I want you guys to, close your eyes, visualize, put you guys, lay on the couch, whatever you guys want to do for the next 10 to 15 minutes. I want you guys to repeat after me and tell yourselves that I get paid to exist and I always receive large amounts of money out of thin air. I am a money magnet. I am a millionaire. I get paid to exist and I always receive large amounts of money out of thin air. I get paid to exist and I always receive large amounts of money out of thin air. I am a money magnet. I am a millionaire. I get paid to exist and I always receive large amounts of money out of thin air. I get paid to exist and I always receive large amounts of money out of thin air. I am a money magnet. I am a millionaire. I want you guys to keep doing that affirmation for 10 to 15 minutes, and literally just time yourselves and see how you feel, right? As soon as you're done, don't put too much emphasis. Don't let this stress you out. This is not supposed to stress you out. Remember, you already have this. So all you're trying to do is, with your own words, start to create a reality of yourself with this much money or the thing that you desire, right? We're putting this to the test. Um, Tomorrow I'm going to do another video, and I'm going to keep you guys updated to see how I feel. Has money, started to shift from different sources, etc., etc. But it's something too that you have to do, and then you kind of have to just walk away from it, right? So, for example, when I do my robotic affirmations in the mornings, in the afternoon, during my gym sessions, even before sleep, you have to remember that you have to sort of just kind of live your life, right? You can't think so much. You can't dwell on this shit. You can't be checking your fucking bank accounts or stressing out over bills, right? That defeats the fucking purpose of this. You have to embody the state, and the repetition keeps you in that state, right? It's the penetration of the subconscious mind. And the reason I want to do these blogs on a daily basis is so that you guys can see through my personal experience things that I'm experiencing. Is my reality shifting? Is it really happening in real time? I don't know what the fuck that is. And obviously, I convinced myself that money always comes to me out of thin air. I've said this affirmation so much, you have no idea. Thousands of times, thousands of hundreds of thousands of times. So my subconscious mind is penetrated. Level 10 at this point. But I want to start this channel fresh so that you guys can kind of see somebody else do it. Somebody else take the initiative. This guy started the fresh channel. This is day one. I'm going to tell myself this is day one doing robotic affirmations. Money comes to me out of thin air. I get paid to exist, and I always receive large amounts of money out of thin air. I get paid to exist, and I always receive large amounts of money out of thin air. I am a money magnet. I am a millionaire. I get paid to exist, and I always receive large amounts of money out of thin air. I am a money magnet. I am a millionaire. Have fun, guys. This is not supposed to be something that's supposed to stress you out or put you in an alert state of anxiety or whatever. This is supposed to be a fun activity to remind yourself that you are the creator of your reality and that you embody the fucking state that you desire to embody, right? Everything is literally energy, and we're putting this shit to the test, right? And I don't just want to be another fucking YouTuber that tells you guys, guess what, guys, I manifested a fucking quadrillion dollars and this is the technique that I use. No, I don't want to be that fucking misleading, clickbait fucking guy. Obviously, I have to make my videos to captivate the attention of people. However, I want to do this shit in real time, right? And I want to just show you guys that, hey, everybody else is talking about this works. Let's put it to the test. I'm not just talking about it, I'm being about it, right? So let's do it again for another 2 or 3 minutes. Obviously, do this for 10 to 15 minutes. I just don't want to do a full-on video of me robotically affirming because it's going to get boring and redundant and repetitive. But I just want to kind of do a few little affirmations with you guys, and you guys can kind of handle the rest on your own terms. I get paid to exist, and I always receive large amounts of money out of thin air. I am a money magnet. I am a millionaire. I get paid to exist, and I always receive large amounts of money out of thin air. I am a money magnet. I am a millionaire. I get paid to exist, and I always receive large amounts of money out of thin air. I am a money magnet. I am a millionaire. I get paid to exist, and I always receive large amounts of money out of thin air. I am a money magnet. I am a millionaire. I get paid to exist, and I always receive large amounts of money out of thin air. I am a money magnet. I am a millionaire. I get paid to exist, and I always receive large amounts of money out of thin air. I am a money magnet. I am a millionaire. Now, remember, this exercise is to help you bring your thoughts back to yourself, to have control over your thoughts, right? In addition to that, when the shift starts to take place, if that does happen, you cannot look for the money, as I mentioned to you guys about a few minutes ago. You can't do that. just kind of let it be. All right, you gotta just learn to relax and just kind of move on, right? Because the minute you start looking for things, you start trying to find, you start trying to think, is it gonna come from a lottery? Is it gonna come from whatever? It sort of defeats the purpose of this, right? You need to just sort of remind yourself that you are successfully wealthy, or whatever it is that you're affirming for. Because what I want to do is I want to be able to say, hey guys, on Saturday this happened, and there's a definitely 100% chance that it came from my robotic affirmations. The inspired action took place, and either the money came from a friend, the money came from wherever, right? So we're just putting this to the test, right? I'm going to focus on this specific affirmation and obviously talk about my experience on a daily basis, how I feel, things I do before I affirm. I usually like to do a little bit of gratitude. I'm thankful for the things I do already have, right? I'm grateful for my health. I'm thankful for food. I'm thankful for my environment, for my friends, for my family. I'm thankful for just the things that just sort of allow me to be here in existence. You want to be able to do that. But I got tired of watching videos and people like, this is how you're supposed to manifest. This is how you get your fucking desire. And most of these coaches don't actually do the affirmations. They don't spend 10 to 15 minutes actually doing them, even just a few seconds, just doing them with you guys. And for all you know, it's a bunch of made up bullshit, right? Because most of them go to like, if you want to work with me, and that's when you know it's just a bunch of nonsense, right? That's not why I made this channel for. I made this channel so I can actually document my reality shifting, and according to me, I'm starting from day one doing robotic affirmations. I have already been doing this for a long time, but this is my day one, okay? And I'll keep you guys updated on the way that I feel, any thoughts, any dreams that come into my mind, any shifts in my environment that take place as I do these saturation sessions. And I'm doing these 3 times a day for about 15 minutes a day. Okay, guys? This can come from anywhere. It can come from a better job offer. It can come from people that owed you money. Maybe a friend buys you a fucking lottery ticket. This is all inspired action, because the robotic affirmation is what enables the universe to shift in your favor. And that's what we're aiming for. So if Neville can do it, if Murphy can do it, if all these gurus can do it, so can you, right? And I'm not making this video to try to make fun of the community, but there's a lot of people that I've talked to that have been doing robotic affirmations for a very long time, or just holding the assumption, and they've told me that it's not something that works for them most of the time. So I want to put it to the test for 30 fucking days to see what happens. And you guys are going to be my witnesses as I'm documenting this. No bullshit, no made up nonsense, straight up robotically affirming my reality into existence. Thanks for watching, guys. Excuse my video if it's all over the fucking place. I'm not a fucking YouTuber. I'm trying to be one, I guess, but I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, so bear with me. I'm assuming I'll get better the more videos I make. Thanks again for checking me out. Go ahead and make sure to like and subscribe my channel so you can support my crazy endeavor. And who knows, maybe I'm gonna make you rich through robotic affirmations. If that's the case, more power to all of us.